today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the terrific Tuesday, the November 17th edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is tossing at us. Today, you and I, well, we'll go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in, 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered there too. Go ahead, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. And in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got a little bit of a mixed bag out here. The NASDAQ is trading up. The transports are trading up just slightly, about 0.2% to the upside. The rest of the indices trading lower. The Dow's off 132. The S&P down 8. Russell's off. Well, Russell's basically flat. Semis are down 15. New York Stock Exchange off 23. That's pretty much flat out there. Gold's off $1. Silver down 14 pennies. Light sweet crude off 32 cents. Leading the charge to the upside, it is the trade desk up 35 points, nearly 5%. Amazon's up 26, less than 1%. Mercado Libre up 22. That's a little, almost 2%. Carvana up 5% or $11 and change. Booking Holdings is the big loser. Dollar-wise off $33. Lending Tree down 30. Regenerate Pharmaceuticals off 18. iRhythm Technology down 17 or nearly about 7.25%. AutoZone off $16. Couple percent. So there's certainly things to look at. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. So what do you want to look at? That's the question out there. No requests, none by email, none by Tiger's Den, and no callers out there. Hello, world. And hey, let's hope that my system stays online during the entire show. Yesterday, after the show, bang, got kicked off. You know what's interesting? One of the things that I noticed, I don't know, this is now, obviously I'm in South Florida. Or maybe you didn't know that. Delray Beach. I'm in Delray Beach. It's just north of the city south of me is Boca, and the city north of me is Palm Beach, give or take. And so what's interesting here, you want to talk about weird things that you see around COVID time. And I noticed this, so we don't have much in the way of seasons here. Well, we sort of do. We get from the 80s into the 70s when we go into our winter. So that's our change in seasons out here. Now, we can't get a little colder than that, but it doesn't usually stick around for much. But get to your point already, Steve-O. This started happening before Halloween. Now, I don't know if it's like this in your neck of the woods out here, but I started to see people putting up their Christmas lights before Halloween. Now, I thought it was kind of interesting because when I've walked through a couple of stores out there, I've seen them also preparing, like when I was in Home Depot. This is probably a month ago, I would imagine by now. I just had to pick up some electrical device or something, and they had all their Christmas display stuff out. But it got even worse. One person did it, and then it's like this little contagion out here. So we're sadly, I know they've got nothing else to do, but man, it is like Christmas fever in Delray Beach, or at least in South Florida out there. So I used to think Christmas came early, because it was really right after, my favorite day of the year used to be Thanksgiving, because you were with family, family, friends. You were there. There was no place to go, nothing you had to do. To me, that's what it was all about. Any event out here. Let's get to these markets, because I know that's what you really wanted to chat about we have really interesting markets out here. Now, what do I mean by that? And it's more interesting today or the next few days than at other times, because we're at this point where we're trying to understand: is this a breakout? Are we getting ready to break down out here? Oh, I see we have a caller on the line. So before we go take a look at that, we do have call-ahead seating. So let's go to Victor in New Jersey. Victor, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Good. I'm just looking for PLTR. I think I might have hit a high for today. Do I do a Fibonacci retracement? And you have your 9 count thing there. What's going on with it?
Well, so tell me, I'm going to pull up the charts here, but tell me, so you're not in a trade, or are you in a trade?
No, I just been buying and selling, and now I'm tired. I'm like, I'm going to stay out of it.
So,
it looks like it's going parabolic.
Yeah,
it's an IPO, PLTR.
Yeah, PLTR. And it hasn't been trading for very long. So this is one of those stocks, Victor, where I don't know that I'm going to be able to provide you with any logical, technical information.
What about a WD GAN angle? It looks like you're over a 45 degree right now. It should pull back time and price.
Yeah, Victor, I'm not a connoisseur or an expert or a master and even a beginner with GAN angles or anything. It's just not my bailiwick, so I can't answer you there. What I can share with you is that the move higher over the last 2 days, over the last 2 trading sessions, has triggered a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. If you were to see a bearish reversal candle while this pattern is in play, we don't have that today, that would be a signal of a short-term top. But your question was, almost specifically, do we see some kind of top out here? And the answer is no. Do we have and this with even limited data, do we have some kind of a trigger out here? Yes, that's Rhodes momentum indicator. You mentioned the TD9s. Today is going to be bar number 9 of that TD9 count. So what that tells you, Victor, is that either today or tomorrow could be the high of the pattern, because it can happen on bars 8. Well, that was yesterday. That's not it, and that wouldn't have even qualified. But today does. This is bar 9. So you've got 2 potential topping signals. The Rhodes momentum indicator signal that requires a bearish reversal candle. The TD9 count does not, but you have to wait for tomorrow to see if it makes a higher high. And then from a trading standpoint, since you're just trading this, if price were to close above the high, whether it's today's high or tomorrow, whichever of those 2 highs is the highest high, and you see a close above that in the next couple of trading sessions, then you should be trading this to the long side. If, on the other hand, and you wait till tomorrow plays out, if price doesn't close above either, not tomorrow, but you'd really have to wait till the next day, tomorrow's high or today's high, you could then start taking a look at trading this to the downside, intraday out there. That's the best information that I can provide you with at this stage of the game. Does that help you?
Yeah, but I have a website I go to. They said yesterday's candlestick was a doji. Do you agree with that? Does that mean anything, a doji? That's indecision or something, a doji signal?
So, sure. So was yesterday's candle a doji? Technically, the answer is yes. If you were going to be really specific, the answer would be no. And the reason is because there was a small body. But technically, yesterday was a doji. A doji at resistance means that the stock is tired. Doesn't seem like it's very tired to me today. Does it seem tired to you?
I think Robinhood traders are having some fun today. No.
You can't trade dojis. Victor, stay if you want to. You can stay on through this break. We're going to a hard break, but do not trade dojis. Right. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Sorry about that, folks. I think we're back live now. So what I was saying there was really just a follow-up to Victor's question about doji candles that are out there, charts. Yeah, I understand. And so doji candles, what a doji is so there's you have bullish candles, bearish candles, and two neutral candles. The two neutral candles are the high wave and the doji. And the doji candle, for me, and this is based upon historically looking at the charts, it's just a moment of indecision. Now, that moment of indecision, when it's up at a resistance level, at the completion, so when I say resistance level, I mean true resistance, like a TD9 breakdown area, but more importantly, at a prior top or at a top where you've got some type of indicator like Rhodes momentum indicator signal, TD9 count, something along those lines. We didn't have that yesterday. Yes, it was bar number 8, but that low was below bar number 6 out there. So we knew that there was no way that yesterday that this was a TD9 count top as of yesterday. It needed to see a move above the high of the pattern. Well, that's what we got today. So that doji was, it just, you do not trade Japanese candlesticks on their own. I mean, you can. Go right ahead. I can guarantee you that if you were to, for example, if you bought every hammer, you're going to get hammered, and not the kind of hammering that you might like to get on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, or whichever nights you like to get hammered out there. It doesn't work. I've run the tests on them. You can't do that. Where these candlesticks have the most meaning, and you can apply this to every system, and you do want to apply it to every system, is when those patterns are completing out there. Now, the Japanese, they refer to the doji, how they like to trade the doji, moment of indecision, and if on the following bar, price is trading lower, then that is a change of seasons for them. That would be moving from summer to autumn, because their expression would be that the leaves are falling off of the trees out there. Well, there's no leaves falling off of the trees of PLTR today, as that had a move higher. But today's high or tomorrow's high could be a short-term or temporary high, and Victor will just have to focus on that and pay attention. It's really similar to taking a look at what's going on inside the Dow. So let's go take a look at what does Stevie mean? What's going on inside the Dow? So let's begin by taking a look at the daily time frame chart. And what took place yesterday in the Dow Jones Cash Index, it did not occur in the Dow Equity Futures contract, was price got above the high from last Monday. That was the high of a TD 9 count. It was the high of the current TD 9 count pattern, but not a valid one, but then became valid yesterday because yesterday took out that high. Boy, that was a mouthful, and if I confused you, my apology, because I confused myself out there. But usually when you're confused, it means you're about to learn something. So I mean, Stevie's about to learn something. We're all about to learn something here. The cool thing about that pattern is right now inside the Dow, we have a short-term top signal. Would you trade this to the downside? I'd have to find really good reasons for you to trade this to the downside, because we don't have that same pattern in the Dow Equity Future contracts. We'd have to go back and take a look at that and see some cracks in its armor. And if we don't see some cracks there, then we'd have to know the future. We'd have to have that 8-ball out there. And now Stevie does not have an 8-ball. I wish I did. I tried to order one from Amazon. I thought it was on its way, but it got the kibosh out there. But stay on point here, Steve-O. The point is this. You've got that beautiful TD 9 count topping pattern yesterday. And very much like I was suggesting to Victor on PLTR out there, it offers a great opportunity in either direction out here. And what I mean by that is I can see, if you wanted to go ahead and short the Dow based upon the signal out here, but the moment that price closed above yesterday's high in the cash Dow index out here is at the 29,964 level. Now, that can't be right. I guess it could be right. It probably is 29,964. If there's a close above that, then that tells us that there's a strong momentum move to the upside out here. That's the cool thing. That would be its signal. And the reason why that would be a nice signal to the upside is because inside the Dow and the Dow Equity Future contract is we have a consolidation pattern that has been broken through. In fact, we've got a consolidation pattern that's been broken through in the S&P 500. So we have two consolidation patterns that suggest measured moves up to higher price. A measured move is really what it says that it is. It measures the prior move. You add that, and that's the consolidation, and that is the minimum expectation. So at this stage of the game, we're looking at the S&P giving us a minimum expectation close to 4,000, 3978. We don't use these as exacts or anything, but in that 4,000 area. Likewise, inside of the Dow, that gives us a 32,000-ish type range out here. And we have valid breaks of consolidation patterns. You can see the NASDAQ in the upper right is still in its consolidation pattern. So if the Dow can close above yesterday's high, it will negate that TD 9 count pattern. And the message there, much like a doji, can provide us with a message is strong momentum move to the upside. And we're in the favorable seasonal cycle. So that is helpful. Now we come back to the other charts for the Dow. So let's go further investigate the Dow charts out here. And when we do that, we take a look at the weekly time frame. And on the weekly time frame, we're looking for, are there any kind of topping signals or anything that we have out here? And the answer there is no. The Dow did top back in September with a TD 9 count. Took prices lower. Prices now above that level. We're above prior highs out here. So this is giving you and I a message of breakout. We just took a look at the daily charts, and the last signal there would be a close above yesterday's high. If we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, do we have any kind of topping signals? The answer is no, we do not. Only in wave number 3, letter C, on the monthly time frame for the Dow. If we take a look at the quarterly time frame chart, what do we have out here? Well, we did have a Rhodes momentum indicator top. That was the March destruction out here on a quarterly basis, and prices trading above that resistance level. Now, going into December, that says if price is able to close above 29,568, that's the high of that bearish engulfing candle, that is a bullish signal. Granted, price still moving higher, doing less relative energy, but it needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm that top. We don't have that present right now. The high of the pattern has been taken out at this stage of the game. That is suggesting a breakout. Of course, you and I want confirmation. Why shouldn't we? We don't have much that we have to wait in terms of price when we take a look at the Dow. So you just if you're long, you stay long. If you're short, you make sure you tighten your stop out there. If you're neutral, you're just waiting for information. You're willing to pay the price, so to speak, for that information, a little bit higher entry point, let's say. If we take a look at the yearly signals out here, what we have is we've got a TD9 count. This year, 2020, no surprise. Maybe a surprise, bar number 9 of a TD9 count. Last time we had a TD9 count was back in 2000. And we know what happened there. Yeah, it's possible. But we're trading above last year's high. We didn't do that in 2000, did we? This is signaling breakout and even higher highs in 2021. We'll be right back. Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab. Bam!
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So let's go to our next caller. We've got Gary in Michigan. Gary, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today?
Steve, a little chilly last night anyways, getting around freezing up here, so just so you remember those days and beyond, right? With your 70 to 80 degree weather there and on the boat every day. So, but anyways, I how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and apparently now doing better now that I know that you're freezing your tuchus off up in Michigan.
Okay, thanks. What are Michiganders for taking care of Michiganders? Hey, I was just that last segment was fascinating, so I can't wait to hear this again. And I was going through the report again today from this morning, and kind of you're tying some stuff in together. But I still have this big focus on the gold and silver, and I think you were going to start on that at one point, and I want to make sure we kind of, if you could cover that. And then the other thing is, if you have time, there's the one stock that I've got a pretty heavy position in, NUS. Curious what your signals are saying right now.
Sure. So let's take a look at all of them. In the case of silver, I'm sorry. Well, let's start with gold, since I just happen to be on the gold chart out here. Just really, so we're still in the December contract out here, and it's just in a tight consolidation type pattern. Consolidation pattern from the standpoint of trend lines, descending trend lines and rising trend lines. You can see those on my charts out here. And then we also have a new daily profile that formed yesterday. Might have formed on today's Tuesday. It began forming on Friday. It was confirmed Sunday night. And that gives us our new range, relatively tight, 1859 as support, 1907 as resistance. If price can break through 1907, then price should make its way up to one of those descending trend line areas, maybe in the 1960-ish type range out there. But right now, almost just more of a neutral signal than anything else, and that's in taking a look at the daily time frame. So if the daily is a neutral signal, I always like to go, what's this signal on a larger time frame? What's going on the weekly time frame? Well, the weekly time frame has a valid TD9 count. It was bar number 8. Price is below Stevie's green line out there, so we know that that is a resistance level. This has been resistance for several months out here. That is currently printing at 1960. I think that may be a price level that I gave you on a potential move higher if price could break through the top of its profile out there. And then to the downside, gold has support, or its eventual potential target at this stage here is still 1730. So that's the daily and that's the weekly time frame. If we wanted to try to understand if we were trading it from an intraday basis, we could take a look at the 30-minute time frame as an example. No signals here. We can see just this sideways movement out here. So no real clear signals on a short-term time frame. The daily is in a consolidation out there, and we know that the monthly or the weekly has a valid, very important topping signal, and with price being unable to break above Stevie's oscillator and change line, it just says wait for signals coming from the daily time frame. Gary, what other information about gold, or what questions do you have maybe in what I just shared with you?
Well, when you talked about on the downside on the weekly,
yes.
What is there you gave that long-term target 7. I'll re-listen and take my notes because I'm on the run. But is there an intermediate stopping point on the way down? Or is that the range then back to the 1906 to down to that 17?
Great. So really great question out there. Sometimes when you listen to media, people ask somebody a question, they'll say, that's a really good question. Sometimes I get tired of that because I don't know if they're genuine or not about that. But in my case, for you, that was a very good question to ask. And I'll back that up with what I mean. And I want folks to understand that. And the answer is yes, there are other intermediate term stopping points on any further move lower. And those levels on the daily time frame would be 1831.10. And that's really its first breakout level that gold would need to test. And depending on that test, that would generate a signal for us. If it's a test and rejection, then price just came back to its breakout level, and it may be signaling to us that it's getting ready to move higher. We'd like to see some type of bottoming pattern if that were to occur. Another level below that is 1790. That is the next breakout level below the 1831 area. And then if price were to close below 1790, that gets us to that 1730 level Gary. And so we just have to, so you're exactly right. We have to take this one step at a time. And that first area to watch would be 1831. So great question.
Got it. Thanks.
You bet. So let's go take a look at silver out here. Let's go figure out what silver is doing, which is really similar, but doesn't offer us the same kind of support or resistance to a certain extent that gold did. And what I specifically mean by that, Gary, what I specifically mean by that, folks, is we don't have a daily profile that price is trading within. So what we have for support or what we have for resistance, and we're looking at the December contract right now, still the active contract, although we'll be moving over to March relatively soon, maybe about 20 days or so. So price is trading also, though, in between a rising trend line wedge and a descending trend line wedge. And those are levels for support or resistance right now. Now, we'll pull over my other charts and we'll look for some TD9 breakout or breakdown levels. But resistance, real resistance, remember, this formed a new profile several weeks ago, and when that profile formed, it was above price, and that is a bearish message because it says supply is overhead. And so when we did see a nice move higher inside of silver, where it ran into resistance is where it should have, which was $25.93. So we know that that's a strong resistance level out here. What we don't know is whether or not price is going to be able to break through support. So on the daily time frame, the levels to be watching, and you've got still a valid Gartley sell pattern inside of silver on a daily basis. The areas to be watching to the downside would be 1980 and 1814. That's on the daily time frame, and those are the TD9 breakout levels. On the weekly time frame for silver, this too has a valid topping pattern. This is a sell the D point. That sell the D point was confirmed twice, really, once with a dark cloud cover candle, and then a second follow-up with the bearish engulfing. Here we can also see that price has struggled. Each time it's tried to get higher, it's run into resistance at that oscillator unchanged line. So we know that that is a real key resistance area from a closing basis on a weekly level, and that's right now priced at $25.84. So you still got the valid topping signals. No reason to suggest at this stage here that we see a bottom inside of gold or silver. On a 30-minute time frame chart out here, price is trading in between support and resistance. Resistance being $24.83. That's a 30-minute TD9 breakdown level. And then support we would call really $24.31, even though price hasn't gotten down there. So right now I'd shift it to $24.55, but anything below $24.55, I would expect $24.31 to hold. So really just kind of consolidating here, Gary, too. No, we had nice TD9 count top yesterday, moved down to a TD9 count bottom. So, the nines have been working really well on the short-term time frame charts. Gary, I see we're about to go to a break. Hold on through this break because we want to answer any questions you have about silver, and then we'll go take a look at that other symbol, NUS. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So we're going to go on the phone with Gary in Michigan. We were taking like gold and silver. I want to make, Gary, if I answered all your questions in silver, or tell me where I need to go back and let me know what else you have on your mind.
Nope. Okay. You did a great job. So
okay. So Nu Skin, is that correct? NUS is the equity that you've got a position in?
Right.
Great.
So looking to add to it more.
Yeah, so right now today, on a daily basis, price is testing a resistance level. Now, the resistance level on the daily basis is at 53.04. The resistance on a weekly basis is at 53.18. So here is where your battle is. And I would say that if price can close above 53.18, not 53.19 or 53.20, it's got to be some nice move. Okay, what's that move? I would say if it closes above 54.49, then that's going to offer you a move up to resistance, which is the top of its bearish structured weekly profile. And that's 57.01. There's no other signals out here on a daily or weekly or monthly time frame that I see that we have to really focus on and pay attention to. I know you're trying to add to that position. I think, when was the last time we spoke about it? Last week?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So I'm just thinking that, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking, because it's a longer term holding for you, that you and I might have focused on the weekly time frame chart, and because of that bearish structured profile, and that was suggesting that the entry area to add to a position would be down around 45.51. Now, last week price did not get all the way down there. It got down to a low of 46.65 out there. So, but right now, everything is signaling that it should move higher, but let's see how today's battle plays out. Can't really I'd say, can it close about 53.18? That would be the first message out there. If it does, that's an inkling that, okay, it's going to try to make that run towards that 57.01 level. If it doesn't, then resistance is held. I don't know how to interpret that other than just resistance is held at this stage of the game, and that means that price could move back to support, which in the case on a daily basis, Nu Skin would be anywhere between 50.08 and 51.07.
So you don't see it, and if it breaks below that, then again it's going down to that lower level. I got in some more last week when it was down in the 40s, but
okay,
I'm just trying to see if it's, every opportunity I can get my hands on more. That's what I'm trying to do it at a good value, obviously.
So your next battle, I mean, it's not going to change unless there's some other signal that pops up, your real next battle is likely in that 5701. That's assuming that it can be victorious on today's battle, and we don't know that yet.
Got it. Yeah, the 58 number was a big number before when we first started talking about it, and they've had record earnings the last 2 quarters. It's only going to be going up. I'm a huge not only advocate of the products, but I'm a distributor. And I've been around it for 11 years. But, I mean, they're at the verge of breaking out incredibly because of the marketing, with the whole going online because of COVID. That was a blessing for a 36-year-old company that's, $2.5 billion in sales.
So
anyways,
I would say, sure. So another level, or really probably the key level, your key upside level to be watching would be 55.51. And 55.51 is the resistance that was established by the TD9 count, so that's a breakdown area. And we know that when that level was hit about 2 weeks ago, let me give you the exact day that tested and rejected that level. That was a bearish shooting star on November the 5th out there. So that's really going to be your look. That's one battle, 55.51, and then you got the top at 57.01. You clear those battles, and yeah, it is off to the races to the upside.
Got it. Oh, great. That was awesome. Thank you.
Okay,
that's what I need. I need some benchmarks. Make it a great day and be safe. Be well.
You bet. And always good to talk to you. That was Gary in cold Michigan. All right. So let's go back. Oh, I know. There was a couple of questions that did come in by email. So let me get to those here. One was from Paul. Paul M. wants to take a look at Aurora Cannabis. So let me get over to that. ACB is the, not Zach. ACB is the ticker symbol. And his question is, you own some... please give me your thought. Okay. So you're in at about 675. When we take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly charts, here's what we know. Let's start with the monthly. The monthly on Aurora Cannabis, as we can see, 4 months ago, closed below the bottom of a bullish structured monthly profile. And that's never a good message long term. That means a key level of support fell. Regardless of whether there's any kind of bottoming signals or anything, that's just stinky. It's not good. And then you had follow through the following month, and then you had last month price was lower, and in this month we saw a nice rally. Remember, the cool thing about these bullish or bear structured profiles is a counter trend rally. When you see it close below a bullish structured profile, a counter trend rally, if it's just a counter trend rally, is going to get resistance in the range of the bottom and center. And it's really that center that typically becomes a magnet. Now, that was 1538. The high for the month out here is 1448. Really close. But you can see that. So on a longer term basis, Paul, we need to find something really key on these intermediate term time frame charts to say this is just an outright buy out here. Price right now is trading with inside its weekly profile, and that range is 456 at support and 710. We're trading at 715. Do I consider trading at 715 to be blowing out the resistance level at 710? I don't. You don't. Nobody does out there. But watch that level by the end of the week. If there's a close above at 710, that's a short-term or intermediate-term positive. And if it doesn't, well, that's not a good message. The daily time frame has a bullish structured profile, and that formed 5 trading sessions ago. Now, we have not had 2 consecutive closes below that level. By the way, that level is $7.06. We're trading at 716 right now. If price closes below 706 today, 2 closes below the bottom of a bullish structured profile, that's not a good scene. Granted, it is pulling back into a breakout area, but that breakout area, Paul, could easily take you back. This is using Stevie's old techniques. These are the Obi-Wan Kenobi techniques out there. The first that I learned, that would suggest pulling back, combined with our polar bear techniques out here, that would suggest price could move back to about 438. So watch the bottom of that profile. This is before we get to my other charts out there. Watch 706 like a hawk. You've got a good profit. You're in 575, not 675 out here. But I would watch those levels. Now, let me pull over our other charts, just see if there's any other signals out here. And voila. Today, we can see that price is holding so far Stevie's green line. which is at 674. If you were to see a close below 674, not a good scene for you, Paul. Definitely not a good scene if that is the case. So right now, you stay with the trade. But if price closes below that, the sphincter muscle should tighten a tad out there. The weekly time frame, well, we've got a beautiful, nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom out there 3 weeks ago. But if price gets back inside that range, you could go visit those lows again. Paul, I hope that helps you out. Best of luck with ACB. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow trading down 188, S&P's up 14, NASDAQ just turned red, and the Russell 2000 is up a point out there. So the Russell 2000, the only indice, U.S. indice at the 154 in the afternoon that is in the green. So last question as we close out the show comes in from Johnny. Johnny says, with the S&P and Dow at new highs, what is the possibility of revisiting the lows of March? Another good question. You know, we took a look at the upside potential for the Dow, but we didn't take a look at the downside potential. And Johnny, the answer to your question may not be known until the end of the year. And what I mean by that, I'll pull over, if the Dow, and I'm just focusing on the yearly basis, if the Dow were to finish something like this, This is not a live Dow chart. This is my historical chart. It was last updated probably about a week or two ago when the close was at 27,147 out there. The point here, Johnny, is that would be a key reversal bar. And a key reversal bar, that would be a topping signal. We know we've got a TD9 count pattern that is in play out here. You don't see that, but we looked at that earlier. So that's a signal to be paying attention to. We know that back in 2000, when there was a TD9 count top that pattern, wasn't a key reversal bar, but we should see similar type of action. So if the Dow closes one tick below where it opened for the year, we've got the good old 1973 key reversal bar led to a following move lower the following year. And so not until the end of the year will we know that. Now, it's possible that as we get in towards the middle of December, or maybe before then, that the breakout that we were looking at inside the consolidation patterns, maybe that just answers it for us. So we still have that possibility. And we don't have that breakout above that TD9 count on the Dow as we speak right now. So, Johnny, thanks for the question. Thanks for all the great questions today, folks. Stay tuned for 2 more great hours. Your favorite polar bear's up next. After that, Tom O'Brien to take us on home. And I'll be back with you on Wonderful Wednesday. Have a terrific Tuesday, folks. Thanks for being here.